Let's start with demerit goods. A very commonly used example for demerit goods is basically cigarettes. If you to go around and ask any paternalistic person, for example, your school teacher, right? If you ask him, is cigarettes bad for you, he immediately say, yes, it's bad for your health. It causes you a lot of costs, for example, future hospital costs, teeth whitening costs in order to keep up your appearances. Then you have to buy deodorizers for your home, so in order not to stink up your place. And all these are costs accumulated by you. Basically, what he's doing is he's deeming the good bad for you. And that's what a demerit good is, something that the government deems bad for you. So in order to evaluate the effect of demerit good on the market, you can take two approaches. One approach is a negative externalities approach. And that is, as we described in previous lecture, talking about how there's overproduction of the good, right? Another approach, which is the approach that we want to focus on for, if you want to talk about demerit and merit goods in particular, right, is about imperfect information. Basically, we are saying that the consumer doesn't know the full effects of cigarettes on his body and on his future spendings. And basically, because of that, he is over-consuming the amount of cigarettes. So let's look at a typical graph, economics graph for this. Right? Under normal conditions, the consumer would consume where the demand meets the marginal social cost, right? And that is a Q1. But this is assuming that he has imperfect information. Basically, he doesn't know, he assumes that the benefits are so great that he doesn't know what else is going to happen to him. He basically doesn't know the full picture. And the government looks at him and says, bro, or sister, if you want to take it that way, you don't know everything. We're going to show you what smoking can do to you. And that's what you see on the cigarette packets. That's what you see in school campaigns, for example. And because of that exposure, now with more information, the consumer then decides, I don't really want cigarettes that much. And basically, because of that, the demand curve moves to the left. Basically, there's lower demand for cigarettes. And therefore, demand shifts to the left. And what you can see now is that the point where the demand curve and the supply curve meet is lower. And the quantity exchanged, which is now Q0, is much lower than Q1. And this is what we're talking about here. With imperfect information, which is the main case for demerit goods, there is an overconsumption of the good by the individual. And because of this overconsumption, there is a market failure. Now you can see the triangle highlighted behind is a welfare loss to society. Now this is what happens when there's an accumulation of individuals who do the same thing. And because of that, there's a welfare loss, there's an overconsumption, and this is a market failure in general. When imperfect information exists, this exists as well. So this is what demerit goods can cause to society, and this is one of the market failures that exists.